What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we're back with some Conan Exiles, and we're doing something a little bit different today. Today we're going into some top 5 lists. Now, if you've checked out my channel before, you'll know that we've done plenty of Ark Survival Evolved top 5s. So today we are going to get into top 5 two-handed weapons that you can get, top 5 two-handed swords you can get in Conan Exiles. So let's kick off this list at number 5. So at number 5, we have the Dragonbone Greatsword. You can see it there, we're using it against these wolves. We don't have any stats or perks put into any points, so we've got no strength. This is just its raw damage, and you can see here, it's got 62 health damage, 13 armor penetration, 10 weight, and 954 durability. It's a very decent weapon and something you should definitely invest in. Dragonbone is kind of difficult to get, however, so do take that into mind. But there's not really much else to say about this weapon. It doesn't have any unique abilities or anything like that. It just knows how to kick the ass out of your enemies. Now at number 4, we have the Obsidian Greatsword. You can see this sword here. Now this sword is much like the Dragonbone Greatsword. It has very similar stats. The only difference between the two is that the Obsidian Greatsword actually cripples its opponents, which is a nice unique ability to have, especially in PvP. If you are trying to prevent enemies from running away from you, you can cripple them with this sword and it will successfully delay them from escaping. It's a great weapon to have. Obsidian isn't much harder than Dragonbone to get. It's a little bit easier to get, so it all comes down to what you prefer as well. This list is based off our opinion and the extensive research we have done looking into these weapons as well. So the Obsidian Greatsword is great at crippling its foes and dealing a crap ton of damage. Now you can see here, it's got 62 health damage, 13 armor penetration, and the cripple. As well as that, it weighs half the amount of weight that the Dragonbone Greatsword weighed. However, it does suffer due to its durability. It does not have as much durability as the Dragonbone Greatsword. You can see here, their health and armor penetration is exactly the same. The weight of the two is different, and the durability, as well as that, the Obsidian Greatsword does have the cripple effect, whereas the Dragonbone sword does not have the cripple effect. Coming in at number 3, we have Blade of the Adventurer. Now, this is a pretty schmick looking sword as well. It's your basic, two-handed sword, but it does the job. Now, this weapon is significantly different in terms of damage and armor penetration in comparison to the previous weapons that you've seen on this list. You'll see shortly, but this weapon is easily capable of just taking out everything. To be fair, most great swords are. You can pretty much wreck everything with great swords, but you can see here that the Blade of the Adventurer has 66 health damage, 13 armor penetration, 5 weight it weighs. It does have the cripple effect as well, but it has a huge 1800 durability to it, which is astonishing. That is a huge amount of durability, and you can see that it's actually got 4 extra health damage points on top of the previous weapons as well as that its weight is the same. However, it does have the huge amount of durability in comparison to the previous 2 weapons, so there is that as well. But other than that, that is all there pretty much is to say about this weapon. It's a great sword to use as well and to utilize, so do take that into mind. But that is why Blade of the Adventurer is at number 3. Coming in at number 2, this is just a personal favorite of mine, hence why it's a little bit higher up on the list. Theoretically, we probably could have put this at number 3, but we just find it a lot cooler looking and a lot more versatile, I guess you could say, in comparison to Blade of the Adventurer. At number 2, we have Baal, Patous Razor. Now, this has 63 health damage, 14 armor penetration, and it's a legendary weapon. It has the cripple and it has bonus encumbrance. So this sword actually weighs nothing, and it also gives you 5 extra encumbrance for your character, which means you can carry more stuff essentially around the map, and it's just as powerful, a little bit weaker than the other swords, but to be fair, you don't actually notice the difference in terms of damage for this weapon against the other weapons. It still manages to kick absolute butt, and it's just a great weapon to have, and you can get this weapon from the legendary chests from the bosses. It's a great weapon to use and a great weapon to have with that bonus encumbrance and the cripple and everything else, hence why it is at number 2. And finally, at number 1, we have Talith Sorrow. Now, this has 66 health damage, 15 armor penetration, cripple, it weighs 5 kilos, I guess you could say, and it has 1800 durability, which is great. It has the durability of Blade of the Adventurer, plus an extra 2% armor penetration. When you get to the deep end of great swords, there really isn't too much of a difference between them. Just little things like armor penetration, the extra encumbrance and whatnot, but this still kicks absolute butt. It is absolutely a great weapon to use on anything. You could easily fell many humans, many monsters, and just absolutely kick their butt. Like I said, it does have the extra 2% armor penetration, which may not sound like much, but it does make the difference, and 1 point of damage can easily make the difference in between a life and death situation. That is why Talith Sorrow is number 1 on this list. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm actually a really big fan of the way Talith Sorrow looks as well. You can see it in the lighting. It's kind of a lot better than the Blade of the Adventurer. It's like a little bit of an upgraded version, a little bit more streamlined. Baal Razor still has a soft spot for me though. It is probably one of my favourite weapons in the entirety of the game. But Talith Sorrow is number 1, like I said. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. Let me know what your top 5 favourite two-handed weapons are. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you in the next one.